What's going on, guys? Dr. Corey Choffner here coming at you. We are live for another Wednesday night class. I'm a doctor of physical therapy as well as a strength and conditioning coach, and I'm helping you get over your knee meniscus pain and injuries this week. We are talking about the knee. We're in our third out of 4 videos for this month of February. Then we'll push on to March where we kind of switch gears and look at the hip in a little more detail, hip impingement to be specific. But tonight we're going to talk about how to safely recover from and get back after meniscus injury to running and jumping and doing the things you want to be able to do without damaging it or going back too soon. So with that being said, we're going to talk about 3 things in specific. Number 1 is swelling, number 2 is range of motion, and number 3 is strength. So again, one more time, swelling, range of motion, and strength. Those are the 3 things we want to hone in on and focus on in detail tonight. We're going to make it quick, we're going to make it simple, but really guys, if I had to break this down into one sentence to keep it super simple and not confuse anyone or not go too much into the literature, you want to get your kind of bad injured side almost to look and resemble the good injured side. And that's as simple as I can put it. So swelling, range of motion, and strength, you want it to match the good leg. And when it matches the good leg, you can go back to doing those things like running and jumping and landing and absorbing the force properly. Let's start with swelling first. Right, typically you don't want a lot of discoloration around the knee. You don't want there to be a lot of kind of peripatellar, meaning swelling around that kneecap. You don't want there to be a lot of kind of effusion along the joint line or swelling along the joint line. You don't want it to kind of be kind of palpable and tender to the touch. So typically you want that swelling 90% gone or more compared to your good side. So if it looks similar to your good side, you should be close in getting that kind of method of getting back to running and jumping. If it's still blown up like a balloon, no way, you're not near ready to do running or jumping yet, and if you do, you're gonna make it worse. And where it becomes difficult is when you kind of move from doing table exercises in physical therapy right after a surgery, right after an injury, to doing standing things or like step-ups or like plyometric activities. You tend to blow it up a little bit more than it tends to go down. So it's really important to do ankle pumps. It's important to elevate your leg above the level of your heart, use compression to get some of that kind of swelling out of there. But most importantly out of everything, use your muscles. The more you use your muscles, the more they're gonna act as pumps to get some of that fluid out of the knee joint. That's super, super important. Okay, that's all I'm gonna talk about for swelling. Let's move on to number 2, range of motion. Range of motion, we want range of motion to be typically within 90 to 100% of the good side. So if you cannot bend your knee fully on that injured side, if you cannot straighten your knee fully on the injured side, you should not be going back to running or jumping because you're gonna make things worse, or you're just not gonna be able to kind of improve much. You're gonna just progress too quickly, and that's not good because you're gonna dig a bigger hole for yourself, you're gonna fall into it, and you're gonna keep getting stuck in that hole, and you're gonna spin your wheels in that hole without being able to move and progress yourself further in rehab. Okay, so with range of motion, you should have a good amount of knee bend, which 130 to 140 degrees is normal. You should have a good amount of straightening. 0 to -2 degrees is pretty much normal unless you have a lot of hyperextension of your knee. You need to have a little hyperextension of your knee when you're walking to be able to do it properly. So that is kind of range of motion. And then number 3 is strength. Strength is probably the most important out of all 3 of those. Of course, you want to keep your swelling down. Of course, you want full range of motion. But strength is usually the thing that takes the longest to get back. Because with strength comes balance, and you want to be able to match that strength you want around 85 to 90% strength on your injured side compared to your good side. So say your good side, your right knee's at 100%, your left side's the bad knee, it's around 70 to 80%. You're not quite there yet. You got to do a little bit more to be able to work on your quad strength, your hamstring strength, that lower extremity strength overall, maybe your calves, to be able to tolerate more load. Once it's strong, those muscles are going to support your joint so it doesn't put more pressure on the meniscus. A partial tear becomes a complete tear. You don't want that happening, believe me. I've seen that happen before from people progressing too quick or going back to running too quickly. So you got to slowly progress and change one variable at a time, meaning like you want to change one set at a time where you do less sets maybe if it's too much, or you change the amount of repetitions you're doing. Maybe you're doing 12, you bring it down to 8. Or maybe you switch up kind of how frequently you're doing them. Maybe you switch up like from 3 days a week to 2 days, or the duration. If you do like 30 minutes a day, maybe you switch to doing 15 to 20 minutes. Always remember, changing those training variables are super important. It's gonna keep you on your game and get closer to running and be able to jump and do things effectively without straining your meniscus. That is how you're gonna do it essentially. So guys, to recap, you wanna try and match the good leg if you're dealing with an injured meniscus on your kind of bad side, which could be your left side. If your right side, again, is the good side and your left side's the bad side, you want your swelling to be normal on the left side compared to your right side. You want your range of motion of bending and straining to be normal on your left side compared to your right side. And that last part is you want your strength to be pretty normal in comparison to your right good side. Swelling, range of motion, strength should match that side. Those are precursors to being able to do plyometrics. If you don't have those 3 things, are effective in there, in place, then you're not going to be really do it. You're going to kind of just spin your wheels like I mentioned, and you're not going to progress, and it's going to get worse. It's going to lead to more swelling, more pain, more discomfort, and pain inhibits function. Pain inhibits your form, so you're going to go down that cascade, or you're going to get worse. You're going to get put on a roller coaster of pain, where you have a good day, bad day, good day, bad day, good day, bad day. Believe me, I've been there. I've been an athlete my whole life. Don't do that. Follow physical therapists, specific instructions, move slowly as you progress, and you won't have any issues. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Again, we have one more kind of knee video coming up where we're going to talk about meniscus treatment in a little more detail. If you guys like this, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We just hit 100 subscribers. Super excited and super thankful to have all you guys in this Facebook group as well. So not just the YouTube, to Facebook too, and our Instagram, which has been awesome. If you're looking for something to kind of work on your meniscus, or you're kind of stuck, you don't really know what to do, we are releasing something for you guys. It's expert advice on how to heal your meniscus from home. If you want that, just comment meniscus down below and we'll get you set up with that. That is going to be released next week for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to link them right below and I will answer them for you. All right, thanks guys. Have a great rest of your night.